October is soon coming to a close. With that comes the incredible month of November. Today we will be discussing sneakers to resell in the month of November. If you're not into reselling, that's okay as well. You could use this guide to know what are going to be the most hyped sneakers, the most limited, or even what popular general releases may potentially go on sale because hey, we're all trying to save a little bit of money. Specifically, we'll be discussing the name of the sneaker, the retail, the release date, and whether the sneaker will be profitable or not, or if they may even potentially sit on shelves, resulting in a sale price. Feel free to subscribe and enable post notifications just to stay 100% updated on all these profitable releases because November is looking absolutely terrific. Better than October, and you guys will see what I mean once we get towards the middle of the month. Also, be sure to follow my Twitter for urgent updates and info, KeithAdam10, and also personals for you. Kicking it off, since we're just discussing the most hyped sneakers this month, let's skip to November 3rd, where the action really begins. The Nike Sakai Vaporfly will be seeing their release date after a delay. The first two colorways to release will be the white and black. Some retailers will be dropping on November 3rd, and some will be dropping on November 6th. I will be making a how to cop guide for these, so ensure you do have post notifications on, so you're 100% updated when it comes to these or any others. Retail will be $180 for these, and both colorways are expected to be very profitable with a good margin too, full throttle on all sizes for these. Moving on, also on November 6th for $150, we will be getting another Jaden Smith New Balance. Despite the first blue pair performing really well, the recent white pair performed very poorly, essentially bricking. This yellow one specifically does seem to have relatively high demand, however I'm still not expecting them to do very well. I expect these to sell out, but at best I'm only expecting lunch money for these. I wouldn't expect as good of a performance as the blue pair, unfortunately, so keep in mind though, with the New Balance site, they do offer free returns, so there's absolutely no risk if you choose to go for them on the New Balance site. Then on November 7th for $220, we will finally be getting the What the Jordan 5. Demand on these is absolutely ridiculous for a Jordan 5 that's not off-white. A large part of this is due to the colorways being used coming from the Tokyo Jordan 5. Unfortunately, they won't perform nearly as close to that, but instead, you should expect some easy profit off of these, more than lunch money, but still not an incredible margin. Regardless, definitely a go at the moment, but if this changes, I will update you guys, of course. Now, prior to moving on, I do have a very exciting announcement. For those of you who have been patiently waiting, Endurance will finally be restocking on November 1st at 4 p.m. Eastern Time Sunday. Endurance is a group to help you fully exploit the secondary market, but what makes Endurance so different though? Well, to start off, Endurance offers numerous softwares completely free for all members to help them exploit drops. All members have access to a location spoofer to help them exploit sneakers stashes, sneakers passes, frenzy drops, etc. All members have access to an autofill tool with auto checkout and auto add to cart to destroy drops and restocks even if they don't have a bot. All members have access to a custom queue bot to help them efficiently pass waiting rooms on sites like Adidas, Finish Line, Mesh, Snipes, and even has a cookie feature for efficiently passing queue on Yeezy supply. There's also a Supreme add to cart bot to make manual checkouts extremely easy, which has now actually been implemented into the autofiller. There's also a Dick's Sporting Goods bypass system, and for any botters, we also offer free software to help you guys out as well. For example, this could generate Akamai cookies efficiently, generate one-click Gmail, profile converter, account gen, and much more, and even cheap in-house residential proxies available 24/7 for the most reliable providers. But that's not the end of it. We love innovation, and we're always developing new things to separate us from others. Then of course we have amazing relationships with a number of elite commercial bots for group buys that members actually want. My personal favorite though, above all, Nike sneakers earlier. Now my personal favorite of the month was the Union Jordan 4 stash, since members were well prepared with the exact time, date, and coordinates to spoof to. Not to mention even the custom spoofer we coded for all members to use for free. You iTools, we don't need your $30 ass anymore. So again, the Endurance restock will be on November 1st at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Mark your calendars and set your alarms. Jumping to November 9th though, we have the Air Force 1 Low Gold releasing, assuming they don't get delayed. Retail is not yet confirmed, but should be around $110. The reason this Air Force 1 is notable is because the colorway is very reminiscent of the Air Force 1 CR7. Now, although you should not expect these to perform nearly as well as those, this certainly does play a factor in the demand for them. Hence, I would not suggest sleeping if you do want a personal pair. Now, as for resale intentions, I do see some potential for lunch money since retail is so low on these, but nothing significant at all. What is worth noting though is that Nike does have free returns, so when they do drop these, there's no risk at all. Also, on November 9th, we have the Air Max 90 Infrared dropping for $140. Personal only when it comes to these, but I do not expect these to go on sale, so don't sleep. Jumping to November 10th, now it begins to get a little more fun. The Dunk Low Veneer will be dropping, which was actually supposed to initially drop on November 5th for $100. Expect these to be very profitable with an incredible margin. Full throttle on these for sure. But wait, it gets even better than that. On November 11th, we should be seeing the Dunk Low Elephant. This date is subject to change though, but it is almost definitely going to be dropping sometime this month regardless. Retail should be $100 as well, but it doesn't really matter anyway. Expect these to be extremely profitable with an incredible margin. Not only have Dunks have been insanely hyped this year, but the prior Atmos Elephant collab did absolutely incredible. I expect a very similar fate for these. Full throttle, no doubt whatsoever. Also on November 11th, we have the Moma Vans dropping. There are multiple colorways of these dropping for $80 each, and if you do want a personal, I would not suggest sleeping. Now, as for resale, I'm not expecting anything significant, perhaps a little bit of lunch money for the more patient sellers since demand isn't really that great, but retail is very low. I'll have to update you guys more on these as we do approach the drop. Also, November 11th for $220, we will be seeing the Yeezy 350 Fade. Unfortunately, I'm not expecting these to perform very well. I can see potential for lunch money on sizes under 8, but certainly not the best 350 overall. Moving on to November 13th for $130, the metallic gold Jordan 1 mid will be dropping. I am expecting at least lunch money on all sizes with a decent margin, nothing too great, and a little more for sizes under 10. The smaller the better when it does come to these. Now moving on to November 14th for $170 in men and $130 in grade school, we have another Jordan 1. This time the Jordan 1 Japan High in navy. I'm actually expecting these to perform just marginally better than the silver pair, so essentially expect these to be profitable in all sizes with a pretty good margin too, and a great margin in grade school sizes specifically. So again, all sizes should be profitable, but the smaller the better. Full throttle for sure on this. Unfortunately, on the same exact date, I hate when this happens, I hate when drops overlap, but the Yeezy 700 V3 Safflower will be releasing for $200. Expect these to be very profitable with a great margin as well, similar to the prior 700 V3. Definitely full throttle on this one as well, so evidently, as you can see, November is shaping up to be a pretty insane month. But believe me, there's more. And finally, for November 14th, for $190, the Jordan 3 Court Purple will be releasing. As of now, I'd say personal only for these. I don't expect them to go on sale, so don't sleep if you do want a personal. Jumping to November 19th, though, we have another great drop. The Dunk Low Ceramic should be releasing at this time. Similar to the Veneer, expect these to be very profitable with an incredible margin as well. Definitely full throttle. Jumping to November 25th for $200, we have the Air Force One Paranoise 2.0 finally dropping after a delay initially. Based off how the initial pair performed, you can definitely expect these to be very profitable with a great margin too. Full throttle on these as well for sure. Also, keep in mind that there are a lot of gaps towards the end of November in this video because more releases will be popping up later. I'm drafting this video as of October 23rd, so obviously lots will change. For that reason, make sure you subscribe and enable post notifications just so you stay 100% updated when it comes to all these type sneakers and more, of course, as well as following my Twitter, KeithAdam10, and personals for you. Moving on to November 26th, though, for $140, the Air Max 1 Lemonade will be dropping. Based on how the Limeade Air Max 1 performed, I would suggest these for personal wear only. Jumping to November 27th for $180, we have the Kobe 5 Bruce Lee. Due to my personal love for martial arts and Kobe, of course, I'm extremely excited for these. Expect these to sell out, so don't sleep for personal. Now, as for resale predictions, I will not be providing any for Kobe related products. I totally understand the business is business notion. However, I just do not wish to partake in that. Hopefully, you guys can understand. Also, on November 27th for $230, the Yeezy 380 Onyx will be releasing. Due to how 380s have been recently performing, I'm not expecting anything great for these, unfortunately. However, if there is one particular colorway to have lunch money potential or slightly more in larger sizes, it's this. Nothing too significant though, but definitely worth noting. Also on November 27th for $200, we have the Fire Red Jordan 4 dropping. Although demand is quite high, stock is also very high. I am expecting lunch money at best for these in sizes 10 and up. The bigger the better. Nothing too significant, but worth noting if you do have no tax in your state or have a lot of local buyers. Moving on to November 30th for $170, the Jordan 1 Metallic Gold High will be dropping. Expect these to be profitable with a pretty good margin as well. Full throttle for sure on these. And finally, last but not least, for November, a sneaker that has no confirmed date just yet, but should be dropping sometime in November. It is the Utility Black Yeezy 500 Restock. If you guys remember, these did release a few years ago. Expect these to be very profitable with a good margin as well. Definitely full throttle on these, but of course, they're not going to be going for as much as they are now. Anyway, that will conclude it for today's video. Remember, guys, that the limited endurance restock will take place on November 1st, 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. The link will be tweeted from Keith Adam 10. Feel free to leave a like if you did enjoy or you perhaps learn a thing or two. Also subscribe if you happen to be new, as well as enabling post notifications so you're always updated. And of course, follow my Twitter Keith Adam 10 and personals for you for any urgent updates or site lists. With that, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you guys later.
Get that big foot away from me. Get your foot off my foot. Why you hunting me with your foot? Can't you find somewhere else to keep it put? Get your foot off my foot.